Okay, so we might look at this chart as the theory of everything. It doesn't have everything, believe me, but this topic is wide enough that it will really open up your playing, really well. So what do we have here in this chart? We have a chart within a chart here. This is for counting purposes, so the chart has two functions. One is for the counting, and the other is for the shapes of the different modes, and how we have the pentatonic scales. It shows them more detailed. Okay, now this guy over here, up here, string shape scale counting. Okay, so we've pretty much got the same thing. Let's see if we can't get this any bigger here. Okay, so I'm going to put that here. Did it go? Oh, it got upside down. I don't know how that happened. Let's try that one more time. Okay, so here we are. String shapes counting. Alright, now we can zoom in as we like. We have the same thing we were looking at here. With diatonic, that means all the notes. So starting on 2, that's a Dorian scale. But it's also, and this is just the pattern now. This isn't the fretboard. The fretboards are, have the warping and the 6th string and all that. So, like I said, this is just a review, but we can use this so that we don't trip up on the arrangement here with the dashes and the dots here. So in this case, we have everything. In the diatonic scale, we have everything. We have the D string shape in its entirety, the A string shape in its entirety, the E string shape 7√2, the C string shape 3/4/5, the G string shape, and they always stack up just like this. They go up in fifths and down in fourths. But the 5th of E is C and the 4th of C is E instead of F and B in string shapes. Just like the string shaped circle we talk about a lot. So now when we start suppressing the 7th and the 4th here, okay, so we're going to end up with the pentatonic, or just pent. You see pent, it's going to be pentatonic. So right there, you're going to suppress the 4th and the 7th of each individual string shape. So it would be a good idea to memorize the way this goes. Anytime you start a D string shape, you're going to go 2, 3, blank. Now you know that there's a blank in between the 2 and 3 already. There's a no play note because 2, 3, 4, there's, for instance, in the key of C, D, E, F, there's the E flat. So there's already a no play note in between the 2 and the 3. Okay, so I should put the dashes. So since I didn't put the dashes there and all that stuff, we're going to look at this. This is it. There's no reason to struggle. This is simply to remember what the numbers are. And let me tell you, if you remember what the numbers are, the rest of it is just string shape fitting. I call it string shape fitting. For instance, let's say I'm playing a C pentatonic here, right? Or a C diatonic. Now I don't know where the warp goes, but I know I'm on 5/6. That's an A shape. I know the next thing I'm going to from an A shape is an E shape 7√2. But how do I play that 7√2? In the key of C, the 7√2 straight on top. But what if I thought it was down here? That ain't it. That ain't it. That's shape fitting. Now, it does go where it belongs. Believe me, it's not always going to be hunt and peck. Okay, you know that from the pattern, the A shape goes to the E shape. It's going to drift to the left with each 7th that we add. So when you hit the tuning warp, that 7th comes over. Same thing with string shape fitting. So simply we have to just remember, initially, just remember the notes. So D is going to be 2-3, A is going to be 5-6, E is going to be root 2. One easy way to do it is remember the D pentatonic, 2-3-5-6 root 2. There's your 3 string shapes right there. 2-3 is D, okay, but you got that 4th. Here's the whole D string shape span. Okay, and then the A string shape span, and then the E string shape span, okay, and then the C string shape span, and then the G string shape span, and then E again. Is that a D again? But we skip the black note, right? So we're going 2-3-4 for the E. So you know D is just going to be 2-3. Okay, and then 5th of D is A is going to be 5-6. It's better to do that. Now pentatonics are easy, and this is what started the whole string shape system for me, was these short patterns. Just this is a square. I would call them a long pattern. These were the long patterns here, long boxes, long frets, and these were the short frets. Okay, so then I had a stack of 3 shorts, stack of 3 longs. That's what started the whole string shape theory for me. Okay, that was what started the whole thing. Was dividing the keyboard up into these string shapes, and when I could finally play the D, I would have to warp up the second long one. So it's long pattern. Kind of like the Marlboro thing, but I'm not going to mess it up this time. So that's what we got here now. So it pays to initially just remember the notes, then string shape fit them into where they go. Okay, so this would actually be 2-3-4. Okay, so I'll put that maybe in the next chart, or if we refer to it again. Again, we've got 2-3-4, but we're not going to play the 4th in pentatonic. Now it gets a little harder. You got to work for this one now. Now we have like a lot of empty space here, and just one root on the G. So just remember, G is just root. C is 3-5. That's easy because that's just like the pentatonic. So C's the only one that's just like the pentatonic. Okay, because when you have 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, that has root 1, 3, 5 in it already. Okay, so the root is just E is also the root. So G and E are our roots. C has both of them. A is just the 5, and D is just the 3. So there you go. So you should be able to start any string shape, but we're going to put it on the screen so both I and you folks are not going to be confused about it. So first thing we're looking for here is the triads. Okay, so it says over here in the chart, like the chart's pretty big, and when I'm making these charts I don't want redundancy. So this entire row up here is the diatonic. Okay, this is within the root, has the 3 of them, the diatonic, pentatonic, and the triad. So we're going to be looking at the triads, and then the 4th, and then the 5th. So we have 5th triads, and you know, which are 4-6 root, and the 4th triads, and then the 5th of 5-7-2. Let's zoom right in. Let's dig right into both the 4th and the root. So here, right up here, we have root 3-5. Now we got E shape. So let's just play the diatonic to kind of warm up. Okay. So we'll play like a D shape, a E shape C. So here's my C up here. Okay, it's just these 3 strings.